Historic Environment Scotland supports traditional building materials, craft skills and their continued conservation and maintenance. We work closely with a range of partners, including the Highland Folk Museum in Newtonmore. The collections and buildings in the museum teach the public about past ways of life in the Scottish Highlands. In 2017, Historic Environment Scotland supported the re-thatching of the Hebridean Black House in Marram grass. It was a chance to foster the thatching tradition and to learn more about the traditional craft. In this video, Neil Nicholson, a thatcher from North Uist, talks to us about the rewards and challenges of his craft.
I'm using marram grass. It can be called bent as well, bent grass, but it's usually marram grass, M-A-R-R-A-M. I just wrote it out the other day, it's 21 years. So it's been quite a while. I got into it by an old croft house on my parents' croft and just falling disappeared. Roof was starting to fall in, so I basically asked my parents if I could renovate it, and they said, yeah, help yourself. They probably thought I would never do it. So I started stripping off the old roof, seeing how the old roof was done, and then got down a turf layer, took the turfs off, realised how big the size they were and how they were put on, and then just worked out then from that how to put it back on again. So I just reversed procedure. So, and then an old gentleman from the village where I used to stay in, he originally thatched the house. So he came down because he was very interested to see the old building getting done up. So he kind of talked me through different things and pros and cons of doing different things. It's always good to hear what the older generation, how they did it and stuff. So it comes from the Western Isles, or from Uist. I get it from a small island off the side of North Uist, and I harvest it from usually October, or end of September, right through to March, April time, depending on the weather. I bundled into sheaves, like at the corner there, small sheaves. And with the turfing, you have to kind of use ground that's been not ploughed, untouched, just grazed, because you want kind of a lot of weed in the turf. So that helps it keep it all in one piece. At least this turf, it's natural and it's good stuff. So, but the best time for doing these roofs is in the winter time, because your grass comes into season, it grows all summertime, you harvest it and then you put it in the roof. So your busiest time is between October and January, February. It's good to know that what grass I'm cutting is growing back stronger and more healthier, and where the grass before I'd only cut once a year, or what I'm cutting now is it's getting cut twice a year because it's growing so well and it's sustainable, and it's making it more sustainable. It's mostly just to kind of help the thatch stick to the roof basically, and it adds a layer of insulation I'm sure too, and stops the wind getting through as much, but the turf is basically a bonding course for the thatch to stick to. This is it's like a homemade tool. I was given this tool about 15 years ago now, and it's basically just an extension of your hand, you know, where before you'd use your hand, you put the grass in between your thumb and your finger, and you'd drive it into the turf or into the old thatch. But this is, you do the same thing, so it's less damaging to the turf and the thatch. By using this tool, you just put your thatch into it and you drive it into the roof. That way it's cleaner and it's more effective. So generally netting the hole and then putting these stones on, and these stones have got hooks in them so they're adjustable. So, because as the thatch gets older, basically the netting gets longer and comes down the roof. So basically these stones, you can adjust them. After say 2 years, the stones might be there just now, in 2 years time they'll be down there, touching the floor. So you basically want to readjust them, keep the netting tight. It's all about keeping the tension on the thatch. And also the first coat, like this is the first coat, it doesn't last as long because you have to kind of thatched into turfs. But the next coat, it gets thicker and it gets thatched into the previous thatch. So you're building up layers of layer, and that builds up your time, it'll last. I did a house last year which the roof was probably about 70, 80 years old. I've just added to all the time. So the roof was maybe that thick, or maybe about, yeah. I so basically gave it a good haircut and took it back to its first coat. So I could go back through the years and you could tell by taking the stuff off, you could tell what kind of grass they had. So after 30, 40 years, you know, that was a good year. Yeah. So go back to the first layer, basically this layer, and then rethatch it again. So after so long, you will have to go back. I've got one particular which the guy's worried if he doesn't get a grant soon that he'll be with reed or something on and not with the Marram grass on, which would be a great shame because we want to keep using this material and new buildings, so it's crucial. But the problem I'm having is that new builds are only new for so long, that you get a thatched maintenance grant, and that's from an original traditional building. Maybe having more thatchers, and then having the labourers there to have it on monthly wages. But it's harder for the main thatcher to for the cash flow. Obviously, the young person will want their monthly wage. And I find that just now I've got to keep money from my previous job for the next job to start things off. And I always find now I always do like a starting payment, a middle payment, end payment, just because it's too long to wait to get a final payment. So a lot of councils and things are quite agreeing with that now, so they understand why you need your starting payment. So I'm kind of now thinking, well, what will happen once I retire, or but it's very hard to find someone who's flexible enough to do the job and also do another job maybe where they can do their own work. So I've taken quite a few young people on, but they always find that it's I don't know, too tricky sometimes. It's too hit and miss with the thatching, because sometimes you may not get a job for a few months, but then sometimes you get 3 or 4 jobs coming in the same goals. It's trying to keep everybody happy. Very seasonal, so it's also seasonal, but you're not paid every month. So it's quite hard for young people to get into it. But it's getting more predictable because the maintenance is getting more regular. The more houses, there's probably about 15 houses in the Highlands now that need maintenance. Protection from the wind. You don't hear the wind and the rain. It's when you're inside one of these houses, you don't hear anything. Sometimes that's a good thing when you're out in the islands. You don't want to know what's going on outside. It looks really good, and it's traditionally a good thing to keep going. So. Okay, well, the best thing about being a thatcher is meeting people, doing different jobs, different houses, because you're always moving from house to house, so you're not actually doing it in the same place all the time. Cutting the grass usually is nice as well, because you're on a nice beach and usually nice weather. What else? Money is usually good, which always helps, but it's just having to wait for it. And sometimes you're on a job and you might be a month or two, but as long as your cash flow is good, you're fine. Seeing the finished result is the best, and seeing other people's reactions, and how they all say, "Oh, it's really nice to see," and all that. And so it's really nice to get that enthusiasm from people that really enjoy seeing these roofs done. So. But it's hard work. I mean, there's no getting away from it. But I get paid well for hard work.